Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Hopefully that fixes the issues we've been having. Hopefully that'll take care of it. Just looking back on track now, Chandler out in front of DRC Jared. What has happened to DRC Jared? Jared was just a ghost car and has allowed Chandler and Pirandi to get through. Does DRC Jared have damage? Yes, he has major front wing damage. Not sure what happened to that car, but Mercedes in P2 not doing well. He's going to fall down the order. Now we have to wonder what tire is he going to jump on. Let's see, he's pulling up now. Looks like they have a set of mediums going on that car, so he is going to two-stop now. I don't think you can take the mediums from lap 5 to the end. I don't think it's possible. There's such a high rate of wear here. It would be a shocker to me if that's possible.
Yeah, that won't be possible on this track because the tire wear is quite. Oh, I didn't even think the tire wear is quite bad on this track. As I've seen it in previous interactions, especially.
Now at the closest battle on track. This is the battle between the McLaren in front and Hoopalicious in the Red Bull. As Hoop pulls to the left, he's going to be able to make this pass stick, I believe. It doesn't look like the McLaren's going to have anything to defend. He's going to have that one done before they even make it through the entire braking zone. A good move by Hoopalicious, but also smart by Ginger Horizon, knowing it's early in the race. There's no reason to really challenge for that position just yet. Max Stalos just made a move on Ham Newton. He's made his way back up to 8th place now with only 5 laps down as the leader is about to cross the line now. This race has already turned into quite a show. No really big contact moves like what we saw in Tier 2, but plenty of opportunity to pass, proving everybody wrong when they said that this is really just another Monaco. We've seen plenty of passes being made. It doesn't really look like there's any parading happening right now, but there's a big gap between 7th and 8th. Everybody on the mediums was losing time. Max Stalo was losing time being stuck in the traffic, but now he's made his way through. Can he catch up or gain ground to B-Dunk out in front of him as we see him running wide through that corner, running very wide. DRC Jared came out in P14 for Mercedes on his new set of mediums with a new front wing and everything. He basically has to restart and rethink how he wants to run this race now. With what he has going on between the damage that he incurred, we're not sure how that happened because we were restarting the stream when the issue occurred for him on track. So unfortunately, I can't tell you how the damage came to be on the front end of that Merc, but he's back out on track now. And we got a battle going on down the front, down the back straightaway. BRL Neymar unable to hold off the charging Mean Fern, but now he tries to get him back around the outside. Beautiful maneuver by BRL Neymar, making that stick around the outside of the hairpin. Now he's going to be on driver's right, the inside. This is his corner, but he gives Mean Fern the room, but Mean Fern backs out of it wisely, knowing that they have to go through this sector of the track. Now B-Dunk has decided to pit, so McLaren bringing in one of their boys early. Did he come in for damage if we weren't paying attention to it? Doesn't look like there's any damage in front of that car.
He has.
Oh yes, they are pulling that wing off.
Going on to a set of hards, and there is also a battle between Hoopalicious and Chandler right at the front, so could get a spicy between those two.
Hoopalicious now all over the back of Chandler. Chandler not looking like the Alfa Romeo has the race pace that it showed for quality pace whatsoever. This looks like this should be a rather simple move for Hoopalicious this time. He's going to get DRS assistance. Chandler will not have any DRS to help him along. Will Chandler try to defend? Yes, he moves over just a bit to try to mess up Hoopalicious' line, but it doesn't work. Hoop is there. Chandler not able to outbrake him. Hoop way too far out in front, but Chandler gets a good drive through exit of the hairpin, but he's not going to be close enough to challenge him coming into the hard right-hander as they go into sector 3.
There's a small little gap between Ham Newton and Max here. About a second apart, but could get quite close between those two at some point soon.
BRL Neymar has just made his way past Boss Cookie, I believe, or Mean Fern. I'm not sure what just happened. BRL Neymar went all the way to the bottom on my screen on the leaderboard and then came all the way back up. But now Chandler and Ginger Horizon have both gone to the pit lane. Let's see if they box for the hard compound or the soft compound. McLaren is going for the hard compound and a wing change. And Chandler going with the hard compound. It looks like he's getting a wing change as well. Will the McLaren beat him out? It's close, but no, he will stay in front of the McLaren as they exit pit lane.
Neymar and Jared have both pitted after pitting a couple laps within each other, which is quite an odd thing to happen after being on the tyres for six laps plus minimum. Sorry. Neymar was on the. Sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say, now we only have 5 soft runners still left on track. Max Stalo being the furthest back of them, but he started further back down the field, had some issues earlier on. Now on lap 8, everybody has 7 laps put down on these soft compound tires. Will they all decide to pit soon, or are they taking these tires further out to about lap 10, maybe 12, before they'll box for their one stop?
They'll be looking to stop around between lap 10 and 13, I'd say, depending on how bad their tire wear is.
Well, as we say that, Ferrandi and Hooplicious have both made their way into pit entry. Now coming down pit lane itself, they've been told to box. The Renault pulls in and the Red Bull pulls in just behind. No wing change going on for Red Bull, no wing change for Renault either. Both of them with a rather clean stop. Both those boys on brand new hard compound tires as they exit the pit lane. Let's see where they feed back into these boys that haven't stopped yet, that started on the medium compound tire. ERS Ham Newton and Ferrari Nut both made it through. This is going to be close. One of them might meet another car. No, they both exit in relative ease. BRL Pirandi not far behind the 2 medium runners either. He's on fresh hard, so this could help him in the long run if he can clear them within the next few laps. As there's a battle going on here. Ferrari Nut going very wide. Ham just runs it up the inside, knowing he's got grip there. Great move by them. Now the 3 of them are nose to gearbox. As they make their run down the straightaway, we're right on board with Pirandi. This is going to be a great view of this battle. Will he make it 3 wide? He's going to go by Ham. Will he try to get... Oh, he thought about it, looked, and then thought about it again. Really second-guessing himself a couple times there. Not sure if he was actually second-guessing himself or if he was little uncomfortable with how the car felt braking there. But he's moved himself back up into P5 and has seen himself right behind Ferrari Nut as the leaders have now both boxed. Dralix is in, and so is Ryan. Ryan gets a brand new set of hard compound tires. He's going to try to go to the end from here. 18 laps on these tires is what he's going to have to do. And Dralix slowly making his way crawling in these Formula 1 cars down this pit lane. Seems like it's an eternity after you've been out there doing 150 mile an hour, 190 down the straightaways. Looks like he's going to lose out big time on the overcut, not working out for him, while the other drivers that were on mediums are still going through. Pirandi now back up behind Ferrari Nut. He should have DRS this time. Will he try to make the move now, or will he wait? Looks like he's going to wait. He's not using the button, but he is getting close, and he's backed out of it and thought better of that one.
Yeah, these hard tires are quite a durable tire, but around this track with tire wear, it's going to be quite hard to keep them in check because of how quickly they will go off. we saw in the Tier 2 race, drivers were coming in after 12 laps on the hards. So we could see another one of them.
And while we were talking tire pit strategy, we just saw 2 passes happen on track. Looks like there's another one going on back here as Boss Cookie goes really deep into the corner. He's going to lose out 2 positions there as he was battling with the McLaren Ginger Horizon. He went very deep into the hairpin braking zone and has now lost out to both Ginger and his teammate B-Dunks. And McLaren's still running nose to tail in the running order. A little further down, we got Neymar and DRC Jared as Neymar tries to retain his position. Both of them run deep into the corner. It looks like Jared was trying to run deep to try to get her overcut, or an over-under, excuse me, on Neymar, but Neymar went deep as well.
Yeah, the over-under cut works extremely well, as we see Jared just go straight on into the wall, loses his whole front wing. A rare mistake from Jared there.
Well, looking back up at 4th place, the battle for it, which was a battle and now it no longer is. Easy move made by Hoopalicious through the DRS zone, opening up that drag reduction flap on that rear wing, really helping these cars get moving as Jared has now retired from the session, but he's done it in the pit lane, so that shouldn't bother this race in any way, shape, or form. A shame to see the driver go from running P2 all the way down to dead last and deciding he's had enough. Hoopalicious, though, has made the pass on Ferrari Nut for 3rd place, so Hoop can continue on as he tries to track down BRL Pirani, who he's not far behind at all. As you can see, he's only 1.4 seconds back, but now everybody begins to space out a little further as the one-stop strategy begins to pay out for some drivers, but for others, it looks like it's not really doing all that well for them. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Ferrari Nut and Ham Newton when they pit to get off of their medium tires that they started this race on. But I don't expect them to do that for another 2 or 3 laps.
As for Nut pits, off them mediums, so he'll be going on to a set of hards, I presume. As we also see Boss Cookie pit off them hard mediums, so he should be going to hards as well. You see Ferrari Nut does go onto them hard tyres, so he will be going to the end now. Boss Cookie pits for a new front wing and the hard tyres. It is.
A lot of these drivers really struggling throughout Sector 3 to keep it out of the wall because they want to run up front with everybody else that's running up front, but in order to do that, you have to push these cars at an insane rate. Some of them they can do it for a couple laps and then they make one small mistake, and because they're running so hard, they just put it off. As you see Boss Cookie exiting the pit lane, really eating every bit of track he possibly can without getting a penalty. Back up toward the front, though, Dralix has just made a move on his teammate, Ham Newton, as it looks like that was probably coordinated between the two of them. But now will Ham play teammate and hold up Chandler as long as he can until they get to that back straightaway again. But Ham should be boxing any minute now, wouldn't you think?
Going off what everyone else has done, I presume that they'd be pitting this lap, putting that Williams in for hards. As he does so, the mediums aren't looking the best right now, so it was a good shout to pull him in when he did. If he didn't, then tires would have just fallen off the cliff, and he would have dropped down many more positions than he already is.
Well, we'll wait till Ham comes out of pit lane to see who our biggest movers of the race are, because we really had to wait till Ham went in to see where everybody's cycling out during this pit stop strategy. But I'd have to say, I don't think the medium runners really picked up anything on the reverse strategy as much as I had thought that they could, as Ham goes very wide on exit there.
On a new set of mediums.
So Ham is 2 stopping in this race. Ham's banking on a safety car. He's banking on a late safety car like what we saw in Tier 2.
He needs to pit again, so he needs to go into either softs or mediums or hards. Going off what his strategy is, he's going to do softs for the final couple of laps, which is a very smart idea. Have the fastest tyre at the end. So could see how move on a couple positions.
Well, as we look here on the left-hand side of the screen at the leaderboard, you can see the green and red numbers on the leaderboard showing the position changes for the driver. Currently, the biggest mover of the race is going to be Drelix. Drelix started down in 9th place. He's now seen his way to 4th with the strategy he ran. So very good for one Williams driver, but it would seem the other Williams driver, Ham Newton, trying something a little different that we haven't seen yet today. To try and make his way up toward the front. I'm pretty sure he's banking on a safety car. If there's not a safety car, this strategy is not going to work for him.
Yeah, these mediums aren't the best. They'll last a couple of laps, but after that they'll go off quite dramatically. Some of the softs, they'll last 5, maybe 6 laps before they start dropping off huge, like quite a bit. But at this rate, there's not going to be a safety car, so he hasn't made the best strategy here, I don't think. But he is stuck behind Finfan, who's on 11 up old medium, so I presume he's pitting quite soon as well.
Well, Ham's now making his move. As they run down the straightaway, you can plainly see he's got much more pace in the Williams as the drag reduction system has opened for him. As he makes his way into the braking zone, it doesn't look like the Alfa Romeo is going to be able to challenge. A little further back, Boss Cookie just made a move on Neymar. Neymar now has the, Neymar now has it open as they touch. A lot of touching, and Neymar just runs straight off. Not good. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, that was a really odd incident that happened there.
That might have been a little bit of dirty driving, a little bit of cheeky. I'm not quite happy with you right now driving.
Yeah, it looked like Neymar just lit up the rear tyres as there was a little bit after there was a little bit of contact that spun him around to try and straighten him up, but
well, we'll look up to the battle for 5th.
Drivers.
We'll look up at the battle for 5th right now. Ginger Horizon's been reeling in Chandler for a couple laps now. I've been watching as we see Neymar picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane entry. But now,
that's frustration.
Can Ginger Horizon get by Chandler? His drag reduction system has opened. Can he get close enough to make the move? It doesn't look like he's going to be close enough. He's not even using the overtake button. But he trusts his car on the brakes a lot more than Chandler does right now. Ginger looking very steady on the brake pedal. Let's see how he does here, and using plenty of brake and then just trails off the pedal like he's falling off a cliff. Beautiful brake mapping from what I've just seen there. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, for those of you that are new to Formula One, haven't really watched any racing, you can see underneath the RPM tachometer, the green on the right and the red on the left. You can see as they get both locked up just a little bit there on the penultimate turn. But this is the closest battle on track, so we're going to stick with this. Looks like he's just biding his time now until he makes the move on Chandler. But Chandler not far behind VSR Dralix. If Ginger could get by Chandler, does he have the pace in the McLaren now to get up there to VSR Dralix? As it would seem Chandler's kind of struggling, really having to muscle the Alfa Romeo around track now. It doesn't look like Ginger's having to do as much of that. Ginger moving over to spot his braking zone, getting out of the slipstream. That's going to hurt him as he tries to catch up to Chandler.
Yeah, see him behind another car in these modern Formula 1 cars. where it's going to cause a lot of dirt to come off the following car and hit your car. So it's going to hurt Ginger Ryan's tyres quite a bit, but now it's Chandler's time to feel that dirt,
Well, he got on the button that time.
Past.
Yeah, he got on the button that time. He's on the button again, just trying to get a little bit more power out of the hybrid system in the McLaren, because he just made the move on Chandler, but now he needs to clear Chandler and get by him, get as much between he and Chandler as he possibly can over the next quarter of a lap. As they're coming through Sector 3 now, you can see they're having to slow down a lot more than what they were earlier, staying in 5th gear as he makes his way into the penultimate turn in 2nd gear to apex. 4th, will he take 5th? Yes, he does. Quick shift back down to 4th. He gets a little squirrely there on exit. Chandler still 6/10ths back. Can Chandler now try to come back at Ginger Horizon? Or will Ginger pull away and catch VSR Dralix? He's only 2.9 back from VSR Dralix, so Ginger really could, in theory, has the time to catch Dralix if he's running at the right pace, as Chandler's just picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, Chandler's just trying to keep up with the Ginger Horizon there, just pushing the limits too much. Just exploiting the track limits a bit too much as well, so. But as we see Ginger Horizon, Chandler come onto this farther back straight now. We'll open the DRS roundabout now. A little bit too far back to look for an overtake. Not using the overtake button, which is just slightly odd, because I personally would use it down straight. But obviously, he was probably just trying to save it for whenever he actually needs it.
Well, unfortunately, with Formula 1 2020, they still haven't made it to where we can see what fuel map they're in right now, what fuel mode they're running. But I'm pretty sure that Ginger Horizon is in rich. He's pushing. He's made up 0.5 of a second on Dralix in just that lap. And part of that lap, he was still getting the tires back into the temperature window after being behind Chandler for so long. He's made up another 10th on him now.
Yeah, once you've got these tires out of their working window, they will warn you. You need to get out of that dirt as soon as possible to get them back into that working window. But once they're in that optimal temperature, you can just absolutely fly.
Yeah, I really wish that we could see what fuel mixture Ginger was running right now to try and catch up to VSR Dralix. How much fuel does he have left on board? These are things that Codemasters really needs to add in here. If you're watching Codemasters, you're failing us by not putting that in here, because there's so much strategy involved in this that we can't even see. We can tell how good their tires are from how long they've been on them, and just by looking at them and watching how they handle the track, we can tell how good their tires are. We can tell how much ERS they have left in the battery.
Trying to get a little bit wobbly there on the exit of that hairpin, so he's lost a couple of tenths there. No.
Yeah, and all that does is help Ginger. Ginger's now within 2 seconds of Dralix out in front.
Yeah. What other battles are there we can look at? Not a lot really, because of how spread out they all are after their pit stops. Next closest one is Mexon Beat. But that's 2.5 seconds.
Well, we got a battle between the two that just came together not long ago in the hairpin as they both run down toward the hairpin again. Neymar not far behind Boskicki at all. He's on the button. He's got the drag reduction system open. Boskicki doing a little bit of swerving. But as they come to the braking zone, he picked his point and he stuck with it. Neymar tries to get him on over. Oh, and he gets a little bit of wheel spin. Gets the left front into the wall. That's probably going to be wing damage.
Yeah, there was a little bit of front wing that came off. I saw it when I looked back.
Looking at our picture
yeah,
now, he's lost the left front end plate.
Looks like Boss Cookie's going quite slowly up here.
Do they both have damage?
It looks like it by they're both pitting, so.
Oh, and look at
so.
that. Neymar tried to overtake Boss Cookie into the pit lane entry. He's being racy as they go to pit lane. That's awesome.
You don't see that. You don't see that much in real life. Obviously, because they're professionals, but you can do it in the game. So why not take?
Those two have history together. I know that you're newer to BRL. You haven't raced here all that long. Haven't been here that long. But BRL Neymar, as I said earlier, many people know him as BRL or EGC Sparky. And him and Boss Cookie have had their go-arounds on track. They have history with each other, so I'm not surprised to see those two battling each other like that at all, and I'm loving it. But looking back up here for the battle for fourth, look at Ginger Horizon. He's caught up to Drelix. He made up the 3 seconds in about 4 laps time. We're now on lap 20 out of 28, and Ginger's all over the back of Drelix now, and he's only 5/10 back. But here pretty soon, will he try to make the move going down this long back straightaway? We ride on board with the McLaren pilot. As he makes his way down the straightaway, they are getting blue flags, but I believe that's going to be for somebody else that's near them. He opens the drag reduction system. He's not on the button. Again, not using the button, so he's just trying to bring himself within range of Drelix, trying to get him in position where he wants him to make a good, clean overtake before the braking zone, which is smart.
So very.
Just looking back up toward the front real quick, Hoopalicious is not catching BRL Perandi. He's actually lost about a second to him in the past 3 laps or so as these mediums now start to lose grip, and you can watch some of these guys struggling with understeer as they go through the corner. Look at all the steering angle he's putting into that, and the car's still just kind of sliding. Look at it now. You can tell if you've raced on this game that he's dealing with a little bit of understeer, but look at the dark clouds now looming overhead. Got a lot of overcast coming in as we see BRL Ferrandi coming down the straight. He's not catching your leader, NZL Ryan. Ryan checked out up front on his own in the Mercedes, doing everything he can to stay out front and continue to run the way this is right now. He would love for this to finish this way after his great finish last week, and now he's looking at a win this week. But we have to look further back at the battle for fourth that is still raging, as it looks like Chandler's pulled out another couple tenths. Or excuse me, Dralix has pulled out another couple tenths on Ginger Horizon, but Ginger gaining it back now as he opens DRS, but he cannot sit behind this Williams for long. All he's going to do by sitting behind him is really hurt his tires. And Maverick, I see you asking in the chat, I don't know if there's rain coming, but I really wish Jared would tell me. Seeing as how Jared left the race after he bummed his wing, I'm really wondering if Jared is watching right now, if he can hop on and let us know if there is a possibility again for rain, because it's getting darker and darker and darker.
I reckon there could be a slight possibility of rain, but it's the last couple of laps. If it does start to rain, it's not going to get heavy enough to put like wet tyres on. So
now we got yellows in sector 3.
Looks Bosch Cookie.
Looks like
both Neymar and Bosch Cookie have spun exact same place.
Well, did Boss Cookie spin first and then Neymar spun, just trying to avoid his car?
I believe so. That's what it looked like.
2 of those are
Neymar
not
came
going
out.
to have kind words for each other in chat.
Yeah, BRO and Neymar just came around the corner and lit up the rear tyre, and round she went.
Well, now this is, look at the battle for fourth again. This is the closest that we've seen Ginger Horizon on exit coming onto the straightaway. And look at him, he's still not on the button. He's still not on the
He
button.
was a little bit
Now
on
he
the start
is.
of the straight, but
He's on the button now, but he's not going to be close enough.
he could be here.
Oh my goodness.
Goes for it.
He's down the inside.
Closing speed.
The
Wow.
closing speed on that
Up it
McLaren was
goes.
amazing.
Wow. Well done, Ginger, for that move. From coming that far back, that was what, 5-6 tenths back?
Out on the straightaway, he was 5 tenths back when they entered the straightaway. And then to make all of that up in basically the last quarter-mile drag to the braking zone, that was amazing, the closing speed the McLaren had. It makes me wonder if Drelix really tried to prevent that overtake, or if he just decided, go ahead, go by me, I'll sit behind you until lap 27 and then I'll go for it.
It does look like from the speed that Ginger Rising takes onto that straight, he's using quite a low downforce setup. Is that just to counter the final sector, or we will never know? But now he's got to try and chase up the Hoopalicious, which he could do, but it's going to be quite tough to.
Well, just looking in chat, we've got plenty of y'all talking in there. We're still not sure if we're having rain in this race. We're not sure what's happening. It looks like it may just be staying overcast for now. As we follow along with VSR Drelix, he is the closest car on track to the car in front of him, but he's still losing time ever so slightly to the McLaren of Ginger Horizon out front.
As we see both Neymar and Bosch Cookie pit after they got damaged after their little spins.
Well, one of those two is going to steal the fastest lap of the race now. So that's stealing a championship point from one of the gentlemen that's going to finish in the top 10.
Who's got it currently? Currently, Finn Fan has got it. So no one in the top 10 has actually got it.
Well, one thing I want to point out that kind of upsets me is BRL Pirandi and NZL Ryan. The two of these guys are basically just trading back and forth. I've been watching the gap for about the past 5 laps now while we've been checking on other battles on track. But these two are basically trading faster laps back and forth. They're not setting fastest laps of the race, but they're trading faster laps between themselves. Not too long ago, Pirandi was 10.9 behind Ryan. Now he's fallen to 11.6. Now he's brought his way back to 11.2. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings himself back to around 10.9 or 11 flat. But it kind of upsets me that NZL Ryan was able to check out while on softs, because we could have seen a great battle between he and Pirandi throughout the rest of the race, because Pirandi just shows great pace on the mediums, but it's only pace that's good enough to match the leader. So he can't do anything about getting to him. And we've seen in the past that we've had a safety car in the closing stages of this race, but I don't think that's going to happen. Everybody's very spread out. The closest thing on track is going to be Mex Stalo as he catches up to the back of, as he catches up to the back of B-Dunk.
That's the closest battle we have right now after Horizon and Drake. So everyone's really spread out in the last couple of laps, which you'd expect in like relay one. After the first couple of pit stops, everyone really starts to spread out. So see what happens between these two.
Yeah, Mex Stalo in the Red Bull still ever so slightly catching B-Dunk. B-Dunk started in 6th, has fallen, B-Dunk started 5th. He's now fallen 7th, but he's got Mex Stalo all over him, just waiting to pounce and make that move, which I think Stalo will probably make at the end of the next straightaway as they make their way through the right and now through these series of lefts, which is really just one double apex left if you ask me. You got the right.
Next. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Max Taylor is on 2 lap pressure tyres than B-Dunk, so...
And he's on the button too. He's getting right up next to him. B-Dunk, maybe making more moves there than he should be, but they're both going to go for it. There's a huge lockup from Stalo. As Stalo puts it into the outside wall. Unfortunately.
That's a little bit of an aggressive rush there from Max. But obviously he didn't need to do it, so we'll let him off. Didn't get any damage from it though, so...
Yeah, but now he's only got 2 laps. Can he make up 3 seconds? I don't think he can after that massive lockup he just had to try to get the car stopped. I don't think he'll be able to catch up to the back of B-Dunk. I think B-Dunk just secured P7 for himself in that hairpin right there.
It'll be a fight. Yeah, I don't actually see him getting that gap back down. I believe that was done.
Well, everybody can remember that not long ago I had said that Ryan and Ferrandi would probably finish about 10.9 to an 11 flat away from each other. I was wrong. Ryan's gone on a charge. Ryan has now put himself another 3 seconds clear of Ferrandi. He's almost got now he does have a 14-second gap to P2. If he had about 7 more laps, at the pace he's running right now, he'd have a pit stop in hand almost. He could go in, box, set the new fastest lap on a set of softs without losing first place. He's so far out in front. Ryan, a very solid driver. I was very happy to hear him returning for another season this year. He's now almost put another second on Ferrari. What's going on with Ferrari?
Maverick has said, can you restart the stream or restart on mics? Reset on mics because the stack's back again.
Yeah, I'm not doing that too. Sorry. Let's look at our biggest movers of the race. Quite a lot of movers. Hookalicious, who's on par for a podium finish right now in 3rd place, is one of the biggest movers. I'm going to go ahead and call him the biggest mover of the day since he's on podium. He's moved up 4 spots, started 7th, now sees his way into 3rd, and if either of the 2 in front of him have a big issue on this final lap, he could find himself battling for P2. Ginger Horizon is another big mover. He's gone up 2 positions to help out McLaren, but VSR Dralich right behind him, another driver that's gone up 4 positions. The biggest loser of this race right now is going to be the guy who was the pole sitter. Chandler down 5 positions from his pole start, so obviously his car not as good on race pace as it was at single lap pace. Unfortunate for Alfa Romeo today for him. Look a little further down though, Ham Newton has kind of made this strategy work for him. Everybody's so fast that back in the day, if Ham started in the back, ran the opposite strategy, you would expect him to be fighting for P4, P5 by this time in the race. But everybody's so fast now that Ham tried the alternate strategy from 14th place, and it's worked out for him. He's made his way to P10. He will score points, but not really what we would have expected out of the former champion.
Yeah, I can't really say much about Hamlin's performance. It's been a good one from what it started out as, this race, so yeah, very good race for him.
We ride on board now with NZL Ryan as we go around this street circuit for the last time tonight for Tier 1. He makes his way out of the hairpin now, and it looks like his hard compound tires still have plenty of grip in them. And he's not far off his fastest lap, only 4/10 off his fastest lap time that he set this race. So amazing pace, a great setup apparently on this car from NZL Ryan. He is a great driver who has shown through and through every race that he shows up to that he's a championship contender, and if I'm not mistaken, in 2 corners, he may be the new championship leader. Somebody in chat might have to check me on that, but I'm pretty sure as he crosses the line,
As he comes across,
a beautiful day and a beautiful win. BRL Ferrandi 17 seconds off now as he continues to lose time. Ferrandi really struggling in the later stages of this race. He comes through to finish in P2 though. So good day for him for his side of Renault, but look at how much time Hoopalicious made up on it. Hoopalicious fell back to about 4 seconds back, but he was able to get him. Ginger Horizon picked up a 5-second time penalty.
Wow.
Ginger Horizon
that's why
not far enough out in front of Dralix to make that stick, so Dralix gets promoted back up to P4. Chandler Sieta, your pole sitter, will finish 6th. But B-Dunk comes through to finish in front of Mex Stalo by 0.8 of a second. Look at how close Mex Stalo got. He was 3 seconds back again, not even 2 laps ago, and he was able to draw in 2 seconds of that to come up to the back of the McLaren. Great driving from Stalo today. Ferrari Nut fell down, has brought himself up to 9th place running that alternate strategy, so a decent day for him, but he's still not going to be happy with that. Ham Newton brings it home in 10th. FinFan in 11th. Mean Fern finishing out 12th. Deer Hunter up 3 positions as well to bring it home in 13th. And Dralix will become your driver of the day just off of the podium.
Mean Fun actually got P11 by the looks of what I just saw through penalties. So he did. FinFan got 6 seconds. Promoting Mean Fun into 11th.
So Mean Fern 1 spot away from getting points. That's unfortunate for him and AlphaTauri because neither of the AlphaTauri scored points this week because down at the very bottom is Boss Cookie coming back across the line in 15th. But the worst drive today was from DRC Jared. Jared, having a huge issue early on, decided he had just had enough and he wasn't going to race anymore. So unfortunate for him. BRL Neymar, his first time in Tier 1, showed good pace today but had plenty of issues on track as well. He brings it home in 14th. And now 13th, Deer Hunter and FinFan in 12th. But you were right. Mean Fern saw his way up to 11th with some cheeky penalties from FinFan. And he's only in front of FinFan by
just over a 10th, I believe.
Yeah, just over a 10th of a second. So good job from him to make that count.
Yeah. Wow. Good drive from Mean Fun to get that P11. That could mean a lot. You never know.
Well, as we try to get some of the drivers into the booth with us so we can hear how the race went from their perspective, NZL Ryan has just joined us, and I believe Hoop has joined as well. Both of y'all, if you could, please be sure to click the checkbox so all the wonderful people watching can hear you. Just going to start with our 3rd place finisher today, Hoop. Hoop, you had a great drive gaining 4 positions. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you started 7th on the grid and worked your way through to finish in 3rd. Talk us through that race, the first time we've ever done a Tier 1 race at the Hanoi Street Circuit here in Vietnam. How'd you feel about that one?
The race was pretty good. Qualifying was really frustrating. My first run, something fell right in front of me and it just startled me and I messed up the lap. And then my next couple runs just invalidated them. And then on my last run, I was 4/10 up by the hairpin until one of the drivers kind of blocked me, I guess, and I lost that lap. So it was a potential pole or front row, but whatever. And then the race, I was just trying to be patient, waiting for other drivers to make mistakes, and yeah, I just kept it out the walls.
Well, you did a good job at that the entire night, coming from P7 to P3, using a bit of strategy with it as well. I just wanted to ask you how you felt about the tires in the closing stages of the race, because you were beginning to catch Pirandi there in the last few laps. Pirandi started to really struggle with his tires. It would seem that you were catching him by a couple tenths per lap. Was that just by happenstance that he started having issues, or did you decide to push and you just decided to do it too late?
On lap 23, I saw his wing on the side, so I knew he had damage, and I tried to push, but my tires, they just didn't give me nothing, dude. It was just really tough on those tires. I could have caught him, but yeah.
Well, tires have been the talk of the day. During that time, did you ever think that a two-stop was the way to go, or were you always planning on doing the one-stop?
It depends. Depends really how much the gaps are between all the drivers. I think the gaps were pretty big, but I don't think a two-stop would have got me a podium today.
Well, we appreciate you coming through and getting the podium. Great race from you today. Can't wait to see you next week at the Shanghai circuit in beautiful China. So we'll move on now to the winner of today's race with a beautiful drive, another beautiful drive by the Mercedes driver. Last week, you came from the back to finish on the podium. This week, you started toward the front and you finished at the point. Great job. Congratulations, Ryan, on your win. Walk us through that one, because you battled Chandler pretty hard throughout the first lap, and we kind of missed some of it because there was a glitch in the stream. So please walk us through that first few laps.
Well, thank you. I got a bit of start in Chandler, and I thought I might as well go for it. T1. There was a bit of contact, but I didn't think it was that bad. And then I don't know how, but I managed to break out of the DRS pretty much straight away, and that was it. Pretty much. Don't get damaged. Keep it consistent.
Well, Chandler became a cork in the bottle behind you rather quickly. His car showed great pace in qualifying, but that didn't show in the race. He ended up falling down the order to finish 6th place. But you still had Pirandi to worry about, who was really matching your pace once he was able to get clear of the pack, but was never able to put the bangers in to run you down. And unfortunately, Pirandi doesn't join us for the parties just due to, I believe, language barrier issues. It'd be great if we could somehow communicate with him to get his side of the story. But I mean, Ryan, just watching you tonight, it was almost like watching Lewis Hamilton on track again. You're great. I love watching you every week. I was so happy whenever I saw that you came back for another season here at BRL. We really enjoy watching you. Great race from you today. Congratulations. We're moving on to the Shanghai circuit next week. How do you feel about Shanghai with this Hanoi win in your back pocket now?
I thought China would be better than Vietnam for me, but after this, I don't know. But I expect Pirandi to be quick at China. It's pad track. We're both on pads, but he's crazy.
Well, Pedro wasn't able to make it tonight, so another big contender for you wasn't here. But if I'm not mistaken, this win puts you in the championship lead as of current. So we wait for confirmation on that, but I'm pretty sure you are the new championship leader. So congratulations on that as well. Hope that we can see a good battle between you and the Renaults on track this season. Between you, Jared, and the two Renaults, I think we're going to get a great season all the way to the end before it's decided. But we move on now to the closing. Ladies and gentlemen, for all of you that joined us, I sincerely apologize for the issues with stream tonight. Not sure if it's an issue on my end or if it was an issue on Twitch's end, but it would seem that every time we restarted the stream, everything would work again. So I apologize for the way that some of the mics sounded tonight. That's an issue that we will seek to remedy before next week. But we do appreciate each and every one of you that come out and smash that subscribe button. If you haven't done it already, be sure to smash that subscribe button and look us up on Facebook and Twitter. And be sure to join us again next week for Tier 1 at the exact same time, 10 p.m. Eastern. For those of you that would like to follow us again next week, Be watching for that Twitch app to open up around 10 p.m. Eastern time is when we will get started. Thank each and every one of you for